Melly is in a world of trouble, and if I'm him, I'm going to bed tonight frightened and cold sweat. Him and his co-defendant, YNW Bortlen, they've been fighting this double homicide case of Melly's two best friends for the last 4 years. They've been lockstep. They've been on the same page. They've been locked
I ain't gonna
in.
lie, boy. When this shit was going on, though, nigga, I was back in high school. I had to be like in, like, what? 10th grade? Damn, what my shit at? I had to be like in, like, 10th grade. This shit been going on for a while, bro. Like, I know Melly and Bortlen just tired, bro. I know these niggas is tired, like, want this shit to be over with, bro. I bet the families, the mothers, I bet everybody just tired, man. This shit been going on. Let me see. I'm 22. I've been out of school for about 4 years. So, yeah. Like, yeah, it's like, bro, this nigga been in jail since I've been in school, dog. Like, damn.
They've held it down through the first trial. But it looks like the co-defendant that had enough because he just took a plea deal. And at court today, because it was all recorded, some things were said in court today that if I'm YNW Melly, I won't be able to get any sleep tonight.
Off the top at 6, we begin with a stunning development in the double murder trial of YNW Melly.
After days of deliberations, the jury was deadlocked, leading the judge to declare a mistrial. And Local 10's Joseph Ojo was at the courthouse in Fort Lauderdale with reaction. And what happens next?
And decisions ending after 3 days, with the jury not able to come up with a unanimous decision to decide the fate of YNW Melly. After considering all the facts, jurors in YNW Melly's double murder trial unable to come up with a unanimous decision Saturday. On Friday, they asked for cell phone records and told the judge they were deadlocked. Melly's defense team thanking the jury for their efforts throughout the trial by adding they were expecting a different result.
We are somewhat disappointed that Melly is not walking out the door with us.
Melly, whose real name is Jamel Demmons, is accused of murdering Christopher Thomas Jr. and Anthony Williams in October of 2018. Surveillance video shows the group leaving a Fort Lauderdale recording studio that night, and prosecutors say Melly shot and killed Williams and Thomas soon after.
Bro was just one, bro. It was 11-1. Like, bro, it was 11-1. I think one had convinced the other two to get on her side, and it made it 9-3. That's how it was on the last trial. That's how they had a hung jury. So I don't see this time. I feel like they're going. It's over with for him, bro. I'm gonna be honest with you. I think Melly. I think this could be it. Like, he was already just one away from getting his ass. One. Boy. Ooh-wee. Yeah, this is bad.
Was sitting in the back seat of that Jeep, and he was the one that fired the fatal shots that killed Christopher Thomas and Anthony Williams.
Investigators believe Melly and another friend then drove the car to a secluded part of Miramar, where they are said to have staged a drive-by shooting to use as a cover story. But Melly's defense team has maintained there are major holes in the state's case, even bringing their own witness who said Melly learned about the murders at the same time as the rest of their friend group.
There's a lack of evidence. There is a conflict in the evidence, and the evidence itself, and the investigation itself stinks.
And the jury did have a chance to decide on a lesser charge. This case will be retrialed, so we will keep you updated. We're here in Fort Lauderdale. I'm Joseph Ojo.
The first trial ended in a hung jury, but it was a mistrial by the skin of Melly's teeth. Because 11 people, again, not 7-5, not 8-4, not 9-3. 11 people voted to convict him. One person that was described as like sporadic and unhinged voted to send him home. 11 jurors voted to convict.
They think that the one that did that, they think that she was paid off, or she was fanned out. She was fanned out, bro. She was fanned the fuck out. If it wasn't for that, bro, his ass would be through. They would have got him for manslaughter. Cooked.
But the case still wasn't like cut and dry, obviously, because it was a hung jury. But there was a couple contributing factors that led to this hung jury and ultimately a mistrial. So several jurors believed the prosecution failed to prove its case beyond a reasonable doubt, particularly due to the lack of a recovered murder weapon and conflicting ballistic evidence Expert analysis noted that the jury thoroughly debated the evidence but couldn't agree, which is common in cases where proof is not overwhelming. Because the murder weapon was never recovered, they couldn't say for 100% fact which gun Melly used to murder his two friends. And where Melly was sitting, both sides brought experts to testify why Melly had to have been the one who shot and killed the two people in the vehicle. Somebody else testified that if Melly was in the vehicle, he couldn't have been the one who shot them because of where he was angled at and how he would have to curve the gun to shoot. Again, it was ballistics, it was unsure, it was gray area. But I believe one of the things that really led to Melly not being found guilty, I think it was the motive angle. Because you're taking this man to court and trying to convince 12 strangers that he killed his two best friends. He killed two people who he got their names tatted on him. And you have to give a pretty convincing and compelling reason why he would kill his two best friends in the world. The defense effectively argued that YNW Melly had no apparent motive to kill his close friends and crew members, Sack Chaser and Juvie, which raised doubt among jurors. And I believe that's true.
And then the motives, bro.
That the lack of a motive.
The motives was a lot of stuff. They were saying some stuff about Sack Chaser was bullying YNW Melly. They say he was bullying him. Then they said that he was messing with his ex-girlfriend Mariah or something like that. And then I heard that he knocked Melly's gold teeth out, and that was one. And then there was another one where I think Sack Chaser owned the YNW or whatever, owned something. They were gonna get a cut of $100K. Somebody was gonna get a cut of something, and they saying that it was all over like greed. So it's a whole bunch of motives on why did he do that. We don't know, but it's got to be something, a reason why he killed him, bro. And if Bortlen is finna get ready to do what he's finna do, he's gonna tell something, bro. He's gonna tell something.
Help. In the opening statement for the state attorney instructed the jury that they didn't need a motive to convict. That they just need to believe beyond a reasonable doubt that he did this. And the motive is not important. Once you open up with that tells me you don't know what the motive is. They did a good enough job at probably not snitching on themselves or not talking to each other to where you couldn't really figure out exactly what the motive is. Now, they would claim that Sack Chaser and Melly was battling for power, and apparently Sack Chaser was the label owner, so he kind of had rights to the YNW brand and trademark that Melly was trying to get up from under.
Right,
and that a deal came and Melly wanted a bulk of the deal, but they wanted like a greater percentage of the portion.
Right.
And they even said, Sack Chaser and Melly had a fight where Sack Chaser knocked out Melly grills in front of his girlfriend. But that's Sack Chaser. That don't explain why Melly would kill Juvie. Did he kill Juvie because Juvie witnessed the murder? Again, it was gray area. Now, here's the thing.
I believe
because the prosecution didn't have the motive or didn't know certain details about what took place that night, one of these people had to turn for the prosecution to really create an ironclad case. Because only two people on earth know exactly what took place in that car. YNW Melly
and YNW
Bortlen. So with this Bortlen plea deal, the most interesting thing is figuring out, is it required for Bortlen to tell? Is Bortlen being required? Is Bortlen being asked to come and give information of what he knows? Because if Bortlen gives a statement that can be used against YNW Melly, where he puts together the missing pieces that only him and Melly know, that would be enough for 100% fact to convict YNW Melly. So YNW Bortlen was offered up a plea deal. And I think it was given like a day to decide, but then that got extended to about 5 days. So 5 days later today, he ended up in court. And he ultimately made his decision on what he was going to do with the plea deal.
Tell the truth, whole truth, nothing but the truth. You can put your hand down. Please state your full name. How old are you? How far did you go in school? Do you read and understand the English language? Are you presently under the influence of any drugs, medication, or alcohol? Have you ever been treated for a mental illness? Are they giving you any medication in the jail right now? How are you feeling this afternoon?
That boy
Your
got
head
a
is
Jordan
clear?
13.
You understand what's going on this afternoon?
And they got the
Understand
J's
you're
on.
resolving 2 pending felony cases this afternoon. Mr. Haddad or Mr. Nascimento, have you seen or heard Mr. Henry say or do anything which would call into question in your mind whether he understands what's going on?
Nothing at all.
All right, so Mr. Henry, it's 2 cases, sir. I'm going to go one at a time. In case number 19-1871 CF10A, this is before the agreement you made with the state, before the deal you made with the state. You were charged as follows. Counts 1 and 2 is murder in the first degree with a firearm. Those are capital offenses. The maximum and mandatory penalty is life in Florida State Prison. Counts 3 and 4 are accessory after the fact to murder in the first degree. Those are each first degree felonies. The maximum penalty is 30 years in Florida State Prison. In case number 23-10643 CF10A, you're charged in count 1, tampering with a witness in a capital felony. That is punishable by life in Florida State Prison. Count 2, directing the activities of a criminal gang. That's a first degree felony. Again, punishable up to life in Florida State Prison. Count 5 is conspiracy to commit tampering. Again, as it relates to a first degree murder charge, that is punishable by a maximum penalty of life in Florida State Prison. And count 7, unlawful use of a two-way communication device. As charged, that's a second degree felony. The maximum penalty is 15 years in Florida State Prison.
1 + 1 is 2. When you try to tell me 1 + 1 is 3, that's when I stop listening. The judge just rattled off 3 life sentences that he was facing. 3. Plus, like 75. 3 lives plus 75.
Right.
He just rattled that off, bro. And then at the end of this, the judge will say that he took a plea deal to where he can plead no contest, and he only gets 10 years in prison. He already did 4. That's 6 years he comes out. From 3 life sentences plus 75 to 6 years in prison.
Ooh, I'm taking that. I'm
How
taking that
does
deal.
one achieve a deal that good? How does
And y'all think that this man here ain't finna tell them people nothing? You think he ain't finna get them something? Oh, he gonna say something. That's too sweet of a deal, bro. Listen, man, you did you a double murder. Really, Bortlen didn't probably do it, but he's an accessory to after the fact. Dawg, it don't get no better than that. He'll be out when he's 26, he said. He'll be out when he's 32. And I know what y'all gonna say, well, Bortlen here snitch. Damn, my bad. Damn, I got shit on my lip. My bad, y'all, but nigga, didn't Melly lawyers throw Bortlen under the bus? Didn't they throw him under the bus? Said, Bortlen was the one with the bodies. Came to the hospital with the bodies. Bortlen was this. Bortlen. Where was Melly? He brought these down here. He was the one with the bodies. They was pointing the finger at Bortlen. And you think he ain't feel no type of way about that shit? I know I would. You got to be crazy if you think he's not finna tell them people not nothing. Shit. You going crazy. He gonna tell them something. He gonna tell them something. That's too sweet of a deal. That's too sweet of a deal, cuz.
Here, Flacco, he ain't snitching yet. It's yet. He ain't snitching yet.
I believe he's gonna tell them something. But I think they like I said, they can seal it. But I mean, hey man, everybody else telling. You think somebody finna spend the rest of their life for what another nigga did, dog? You nigga gotta be out of your mind.
They have an agreement to where he gotta sit down within a week, I believe. And that's when the snitching is gonna happen. Let's hear when they get to the end. Listen closely to exactly what he has to do in a week.
So, sir, again, before the agreement you made with the state, before the deal you made with the state, your maximum exposure here was life in Florida State Prison, followed by 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 75 years in Florida State Prison. Sir, do you understand all the pending charges and the maximum possible penalties involved? And it's my understanding that you want to resolve both cases today. Is that correct? Yes. And that resolution is an agreement you've reached with the state, the terms of which are as follows. Number one, in the 19 case, you're going to plead no contest to both counts of accessory after the fact. In the 23 case, you're going to plead no contest to all 4 counts as charged. In exchange for that, the state is going to null process, that is, drop the 2 first-degree murder counts. All right, I'm going to adjudicate you guilty. Yes, sir. What's happening with that?
That would be no problem.
So he's only going to plead to the tampering with a witness in a capital felony, conspiracy to commit tampering and unlawful use of a two-way communication device?
Just the tampering and the unlawful use.
Just count 1 and count 7.
Correct.
State you're going to null cross count 2 and count 5.
Correct, Your Honor.
As it relates only to Mr. Henry.
Correct.
Okay. So Mr. Henry, what it's going to be is 2 counts of accessory after the fact, tampering with a witness in a capital felony, and unlawful use of a two-way communication device. In exchange for that, I'm going to adjudicate you guilty on the 2 accessory counts as well as the tampering count. I'm going to sentence you to 10 years in Florida State Prison. That will be followed by 6 years of reporting probation. In the unlawful use of a two-way communication device, that's a second-degree felony. The maximum exposure.
It's a 3rd degree, Your Honor.
It's the second as charged, I believe. It's a 3rd, except as it relates to a capital case. But I'm happy to look it up.
That's the 3rd, that's what we discussed, so.
Well, what did you want the negotiated sentence to be for that?
That was just going to be the maximum time, sir.
5 years? Is that what you were going to do?
Correct, Your Honor.
Okay. All right, so, sir, as to that count, it's going to be adjudication of 5 years in Florida State Prison. So the 2 accessory counts as well as the tampering count, those come with 6 years of reporting probation after the Department of Corrections sentence. I'll give you credit for all the time that you've served in both cases. All of those counts will run concurrently. All those sentences will run concurrently. All counts in all cases, that is at the same time with each other. I'm going to have to impose mandatory court costs. I'm going to order restitution payable to Terry Bagley and payable to Ashley Phillips and reservists to the amount. I'm going to give the state 120 days to tell me the amount of that restitution. If they fail to do so within 120 days, there will be no restitution. If they come back with an amount and the attorneys agree on the amount, I will impose that as another condition of your sentence to pay back that restitution. If they come back with an amount and the attorneys do not agree on the amount, I will conduct a restitution hearing. Sir, lastly, and I want to make it very clear on the record, and it's unrelated to this negotiated change of plea, I guess at some point after the fact, the state wants to take a proffer from you or have a discussion with you, ask you some questions about whatever that may be. What I want you to understand, sir, is I guess that's part of this negotiated resolution, but your answers to any of those questions, whatever they might be, have no bearing on me and have no bearing on this negotiated resolution. In other words, the deal you've negotiated is the deal you've negotiated, and that's the ballgame. Do you understand all that, sir? Have you had enough time to talk to your lawyers about all that? They've answered all your questions? You're sure that that's what you want to do? Because I want to emphasize, Mr. Henry, and I'm going to do.
The judge said, I don't know how you pulled this off. How did you and your team of attorneys pull this off? It was a favor for a favor. If you believe that they took 3 life sentences plus 75 and they got it down to 6 years because they wanted to be nice, you think they're not getting nothing in return, you're out of your mind. But the judge said, in your negotiated plea, you agreed to do a proffer agreement where you sit down.
Say, hey, man, he's a rat. He's this man. Call it what you want. Them people try to throw Bortlen under the bus, dog. And I heard bruh felt some type of way about that. This man been quiet, keeping it low key all this time. And you mean to tell me y'all threw this man under? They threw Bortlen under the bus, saying that he was the one that did it. Man, fuck that. I ain't taking no charge like that.
What you know in about a week.
I'm gonna tell it.
Just so you know, though, you already pled guilty. That will have no bearing on your sentence. But this was a favor for a favor. Hey, I'll scratch your back, you scratch mine. And these street dudes nowadays, bro, these new age street dudes, yo, they the best rats you've ever met, bro. They are evolved rats. They're finding new way to snitch without getting caught. This proffer agreement is going to be him coming to sit down to tie up all the loose ends the prosecutors have been missing. All those questions they've been having have been burning a hole in their brain the last 4 years. He's about to answer those questions. What's the motive? Why did Melly want to kill these 2 people? that's been burning inside the prosecutor's brains for years. They can't seem to figure it out. He's about to let them know exactly why. Everything they need to know. And the proffer agreement is going to be sealed. They might not even use that proffer agreement in court. They might not even have him testify. But that proffer agreement and what he telling folks in the week is going to be used to put them on the right track. He don't have to come and testify towards the motive. He let them know, hey, man, yo, Melly and Sack Chaser, man, got into it, man, because Melly was smashing Sack Chaser's girlfriend. And now they can go to the girlfriend, get her phone, subpoena her, try to find out, oh, yeah, yo, Melly was sleeping with her. Oh, my God. Now they got the information they need now. Or they say, hey, man, yo, this record label that y'all don't know about, they offered Melly like $10 million to sign. Sack Chaser told him, hey, I own Melly. Y'all can't sign it without. What? Really? Now they go to that label, get the contract. Now they can build a more. All he has to do is put them on the right track. And he can still play gangster when he come home.
Everybody else doing it?
It's the proffer agreement. It's been sealed.
It's been sealed.
Nobody has to know what he told them folks in that room. Kind of like Keefe D. When Keefe D did the proffer agreement where he told them folks everything. It was supposed to be sealed. It wasn't supposed to be released, but they released it and they leaked it.
One of the dumbest murders.
So he, right now, as of this moment,
it's over with, bro. There's not giving this man this kind of deal, and he not finna say nothing. You got to be out of your mind. He's going to say something. He gonna give them something that they need. But let me just say this. This is one of the most dumbest murders. That was dumb. This whole thing, this murder, what they thought they were doing was just dumb. Like, what was you niggas thinking when y'all was... First of all, Melly, what was you thinking? You thought you were gonna get away with killing two of these niggas? Because once these guys here get done with the the trajectory of the gun, where it came from, they have video footage of you getting on that side of the car. You got phone pinging you running around with the dead bodies. How are you gonna beat this? They're probably gonna put your girlfriend on the stand, Mariah, or whatever. Get what she's gonna say when she FaceTime you. Where was he in the middle of nowhere? Yeah, she's gonna tell it. What? How is he gonna beat this? On top of what Bortlen probably finna tell him. That right there gonna be the nail in the coffin. It wasn't worth it. It wasn't worth it, bro. You killing two of your best friends was not worth it. Not only did you destroy 2 friends, but 3. Because after this right here, he's going to say something. That was not a smart decision, killing 2 of your best friends. Like, that's dumb. You are the one with the skill sets. You are the one that, like, bruh, has it. Why would you jeopardize your future trying to pop over what? Because y'all slept with the same, y'all was over a girl, over money? Like, bro, you could have figured that shit out, Melly. Like, bro, you probably could have figured that out. Man, how you know you wasn't there? Shut up, man. Shut up with that talk. This man killed 2 of his best friends. Then, let's just say if he didn't do it, bro, what type of friend let somebody, you don't even go to the hospital. Man, there's homies, bro, that stole their mama's car. Stole their mama's car when their homies got shot, bro. Stole their mama's car, bro, driving fast to check on their homie. You didn't even go to the funeral, or you didn't even pull up at the hospital. What type of friend does that? The whole thing is just stupid. No career, nothing. You just jeopardize everything. Like, bro, that's just stupid, bro. Crazy work. Like, bro, you should have thought this out, bro. You could have figured something out, bro. Whatever them niggas was doing, bro, you could have figured it out. They was extorting him. Man, if they wanted to kill him, they would have been killed him. Come on, homie. This is one of the most dumbest murders. And he, like, bro, this is like, bro, that was stupid. That was just dumb for him to just pop 2 of them boys like that. just like, bro, you could have figured something out, bro. But man, that's it for that video, man. Yeah, I do believe Bortlen gonna give some information. He gonna say some stuff. It's too good of a deal, bro. Y'all make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe, man. Till next time. We out.